Hi everybody. So I started doing low waste about 3 years ago. I've been working to living a more sustainable life, meaning that I've been cutting out stuff like unnecessary plastics, buying reusables, buying secondhand, and being a little bit more just generally sustainable in my life to help with the planets. One thing I've realized though is that as much as I think that I have a good carbon footprint, I've never actually taken the time to sort of look at my actual ecological carbon footprint. And so I figured since that this month is Earth Month, I would take the time to look online, take a little quiz, and sort of look at where I need to sort of improve upon, let's just say. I don't need to fix it, I just need to improve a bit better. So I got inspired by Buzzfeed's video, How Many Earths Does It Take to Support Your Life? And I sort of went along the lines of finding out exactly what my ecological footprint is. And so I'm taking the test. So I went online to the footprintcalculator.org. Now, this website takes the test to see what your ecological footprint is. So it tries to see how much of waste you're actually doing. And it's very finite, so you can really go into the details into how much you're actually using. So let's take a look. So how often do you eat animal-based products? So I actually don't eat many. I am pescatarian technically because I still have fish, but it's because I have an iron deficiency. For the most part, I have been going vegetarian slash vegan-ish for some parts. So I'm going to say infrequently, but very low infrequently because I really don't have much. Like, I'll have cheese here and there. I make my own oat milk. I try to use less cheese in recipes as I can. Dylan still eats meat, but I don't, unless it's a salmon fillet or something like that. So there's not much really to it. And the one thing I really like is that you can actually go into the add details to improve accuracy. So it goes into more finite look into it by saying specific animals and all that. So beef and lamb, I have absolutely none of. Pork, haven't had that for 16 years. Poultry, haven't had that for about 10 years, I would say. Fish or shellfish. I usually have it very infrequently. I have it at least once a week just because I have to. Otherwise, I get very sick and it's not good for me. I know there's iron, vitamins and stuff like that and supplements out there, but I can't even take a multivitamin for the life of me. So I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest at vitamin care. It's just a remembering thing. I just don't remember to do it. So, yeah, I eat fish once a week. Sue me. Eggs, cheese, and or dairy. I will probably say, yeah, occasionally, like once or twice a week. So I'll save that and go on to the next question. How much of the food that you eat is unprocessed, unpackaged, or locally grown? So I would say that mine is, I would say about 20% is, well, it's kind of tricky because I have a lot of stuff unpackaged, but when it comes to locally grown stuff, it's, you know what, I'll probably go about 35. Because as much as I get stuff package free, it's not always locally grown. So let's add the details to improve accuracy. So how much of your diet is fresh, unpackaged food? So that I can actually say what it is. So it is about, I'd say about 60%. My main section when I go grocery shopping is the produce section. I love the produce. I'd say about 60% of it, of my groceries, is package free and or comes with recyclable packaging, so I can at least, remove it properly. Let's see, how much of your diet is locally grown or produced? I would say I'd probably keep it around 25%, just because, like, no, I'd say about 30% actually, where it was, because I try focus on in-season products as best as I can, as well as when it comes to the fruit and vegetables that I buy, I try and look for Ontario farmers as best as possible. There are those few times where I will be making a recipe that has something wild in it that we can't grow in Canada, and it'll probably be something from like Mexico or Chile, which I apologize, but it's delicious. So I can't help myself with that, and I apologize. So I'd say, yeah, about my diet is locally grown or produced, about 30% of it, because I try to. So let's see what we can go on to. Which housing type best describes your home? Now, this is going to be the hard part for me because we just moved into one of these multi-story apartments. We have about 8 tenants on per floor, and we have about 27 floors. But it's kind of out of my control as to how the energy is used. I mean, yeah, it's kind of out of my control for the most part. So, yeah, multi-story apartments what we have, unfortunately. Let's see, what material is your house constructed with? Straw, bamboo, that'd be very funny and very awesome if it was, but no. Brick, concrete, yep, that's us. Yeah, we're brick and concrete. How many people live in your household? Well, it'd be 2.5. Let's just say that, because Jessie is like a being that lives, our dog is like a being in our house, but, you know, if we're going off of people, it's just Dylan and I, so 2. And then what is the size of our home? Well, we have an apartment, but it's pretty big for what it is. It's about 565. Can't exactly go new. Okay, so the closest one to would be 576. That's probably what it is. We're 565, I know that, but it's big. Okay, next question. Do you have electricity in your house? Yes, but I don't always use it. How energy efficient is your home? Let's see. We're pretty average. I think, if anything, let's see, insufficient lighting, standard appliances. It's above average. Well insulated, efficient lighting, and appliances careful use. Yeah, I'd say we're above average. I keep my lights off all day because you can clearly see natural light is the best thing. We don't turn on any lights until at least maybe 6, 7 o'clock at the latest when it starts getting darkish, but we got all natural, baby. Can't get any more sustainable than that. What percentage of your home's electricity comes from renewable sources? Again, in an apartment, it's tricky because we can't exactly say what it is. We are hydro for sure, and I think the most sustainable renewable source that we have in our apartment is our balcony lights that are only used by, what's it called? Solar power. That's it. Goodness. Anything else, everything else we have is a plug-in, so it's connected to our hydro. I would say about, like, I go about the average with 40%. It says here about a 14% of global primary energy, consumption comes from renewable hydro and nuclear in 2016. According to the BP's Statistical Review of World Energy Use, June 2017. I would say we're about that. Like, we have a lot of our stuff is actually low power use stuff. It doesn't use up a lot, and even if we do, we don't use it that often. Like the television, we have cut down our television and PS4 consumption by, like, I'd say about 20% now since moving into this apartment. So yeah, I'd say we're about 14%. Compared to your neighbors, how much trash do you generate? Okay, so this I actually know because I hear my neighbors. We have the trash chute right across from us. So I hear our neighbors and our other tenants all the time on our floor. And we definitely don't go out as much as them. We have already minimized our garbage can in the apartment, and we only take them out when they're like really full. So I would say for us, we are much less. Let's see. Oh, we can add details to improve accuracy. Let's do that. What comes closest to your monthly new clothing, footwear, and others and or sporting goods purchase? We actually we don't even buy that stuff. No, we've got minimal to none. We do not buy a lot of that stuff. What comes closest to your annual house purchases? Let's see. Well, we have had to get some new stuff for the apartment, that's for sure. But we've gone better by buying secondhand, that's for sure. We raided my parents' house and grabbed all of my stuff that was there and made it so much easier. And all the stuff that we have in the apartment is all stuff we've already had, so we have actually had not many new purchases. So I'm gonna say not much, because yeah, we haven't really decorated in years. And even if we have decorated now, everything that we bought has been secondhand and or from previous houses. So yeah. How often do you purchase new? Um, I would say not often. The couch behind me here, brand new, but that's because our other couch broke, and I mean like sloping down on the ground kind of broke. So yeah, we needed a new couch. Faux leather, so that's good. And it's gonna last us a few years, which is another good thing. So I would say infrequently. Let's say I only replace a broken appliance as needed. That's me, yeah. And electronics and gadgets. We have not bought anything new at all recently. Like all the stuff that we have had is pretty much like what we've had for years. Like I'm not updating my phone anytime soon. I'm not updating my computer anytime soon unless it's like beyond broken and I can't use it anymore. It may be slow, but I don't care. I'd rather work off of what I have than buying something brand new. So I would say infrequently, and I generally only replace broken TVs and computers. Voila. I can read them so easily. Books, magazines, and newspapers. Hell no, I do not buy any of these. Never/rarely. Yeah, I read everything online. And not like social media, like I'll actually read the newspaper, but on the computer and all that, or on my phone. Yeah, can't believe everything you read on the internet, but as long as it's from a reliable source, you're all good. How much do you recycle? Paper. I recycle almost all my paper. I make sure when I'm buying products that they don't have a plastic lining on them, so I can properly recycle them, like coffee cups. Can't recycle them, people. They got a plastic lining on the inside. Not recyclable. Plastic. I would say, so stuff like containers, I would say yes. And like I try and buy glass and aluminum as best I can because those are the best things to recycle. But if it does come in plastic, I try and find plastic containers that will A, last me a long time, so I'm not buying as much plastic. And B, I try to find stuff that has like no access layers, like bags inside the boxes and stuff like that. Those ones I know go in the garbage. I would probably say about most of my plastics I can recycle because I double check with the city and all that to see what exactly can be recycled, and I sort of go from there. Okay, so let's save that. So let's go to the next one. For how far do you travel by car or motorcycle each week? Motorcycle? 0. I got no motorcycle. I have a bicycle. How much do I travel by car? Well, I don't drive. Dylan does. He goes to the office all the time. But for this thing, I'm just focusing on me. But I do travel by car because I do carpool along with Dylan and my mom after work. She'll drive me home on the weekend that I work, and how far is that? It's about 10 or 11 kilometers from downtown to where I am. So yeah, I'd say about 10 kilometers. Yeah. Oh my goodness, 10. There we go. So what's the average fuel economy of the vehicles you use most often? I have no idea for the Vibe. That's my parents' car. For the truck, I actually don't really know. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. It's better than most trucks because it's a GMC Canyon. Um, I actually do not know. I'll be honest, I don't know that this could affect my here, I'll put the bike one all the way up to efficient and or electric because it doesn't have a zero option on it. So I'll just be like, it's the most effective because I have a bicycle. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'd probably go about, it's a bit of a gas guzzler, I'll admit that. When you travel by car, how often do you carpool? Always, because I don't have a license. So yeah, I carpool like no tomorrow. When I need rides places, I get them. And I'll admit, it's a bit of a privilege, I'm sorry. So let's say, how far do you travel on public transportation each week? Well, since the pandemic, I used to go about 3 to 4 times a week to work. Well, 3 days a week to work. Now I'm down to one. So I am staying home as much as possible, and I am, what's it called? Yeah, I walk everywhere. I bike as many places as I can. I am only going to work once a week, and that's downtown. I just take the subway. So I literally got the station right next door to our building, so I can go right ahead. So I'd have no buses. I would just go, yeah, as far as downtown because everywhere else I just walk. So yeah, the one time to go to work and back and all that'd be 11 or so kilometers. Oh, add details. Let's see. How far do you travel each week by train? Yeah, I'd say about, yeah, I'll say about 16. Travel each week by bus? 0. Yeah. 0, yeah, because I don't take the bus that often. And when I do, it's rare nowadays, especially since COVID. So let's see. How far do you travel on public transportation each week? Oh, wait, I already did that one. Ha! Hey, how many hours do you fly each year? I don't fly very often. I mean, the trips that I do take, they're long. Like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, we did our trip to Pakistan for my sister's part 2 of her wedding. And that was multiple flights, and that was very long. But, I mean, on average, a year, I don't fly anywhere. We'll drive places, and we'll do camping trips and such, but it's rare that I fly. It's very rare. So I think for this, I'm going to bring it down to like, you know what? I'm just going on the last year alone, and I'm just going to say 0 because I haven't flown since December of 2019. So it's almost 2 years now. Like a year and a half, let's just say. So yeah, let's just say 0 for that. And let's see. Oh, okay, I'm all done. No, I don't want to leave my name and email, so let's skip to see my results. 1.3 Earths. That's not bad, actually. Oh, and it says thank you, and we need you. More than 2 million people use the Ecological Footprint calculator every year, and with that number, it's growing. So guys, please try this thing. I mean, honestly, be honest with your answers. like as best as you can, like to what your ability you know. But it's actually really cool to find out this stuff. Like I thought I was gonna be worse than I am. I thought I was gonna need at least like 2 Earths or something that are 1.9 Earths. Like 1.83 Earths. That's not bad. Um, let's see. So it says your personal Earth Overshoot Day is October 17th. Hey, the day after our wedding. So let's make it till then. If everybody lived like you, the Earth Overshoot Day would be on this day. This means by this date we would have used as much from nature as Earth can renew in the entire year. In 2020, Earth Overshoot Day for the humanity was August 22nd. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Earth. Um, if everyone lived like you, we would need 1.3 Earths. So how do I compare? So let's see. So the average number of Earths for America would be 5 Earths. Oh my God. Germany would be 3.2. Okay. China, it would only be 2.1. Really? I'm surprised by that, actually. That's awesome. Let's see. South Africa would be 2 Earths, and Brazil would be 1.8 Earths. I'm just a little below Brazil. That's not bad, actually. So let's see. So one thing I can look at is I can see my details of exactly how much I'm using. So my carbon footprint is high, but if you look at it though, it's mainly because of my shelter that I live in, like my apartment. I have little control over it, based on the apartment that I live in, and mostly because I'm in a city, not like the countryside, like I want to be eventually. My food consumption is also up there as well, but that's because it can be tricky, especially with the pandemic going on. I can't go to the farmers markets as much, and I can't buy as much plastic free as I'd like to, but I mean, that happens. Um, yeah, and like my services and my goods and all that, and my mobility are very low, which is awesome. Yeah, so I'm quite surprised with myself. I actually thought I was gonna be worse than I am. Um, yeah. Oh, and look, you could even do a how do you feel? Well, how do I feel? I feel inspired. Yeah. It's like feeling inspired. You now know your footprint and you're ready to take action. We need your enthusiasm and energy to bring us back into balance with the ecological budget of our planet. What will it take? Frankly, nothing we don't already know and have already available. More people need to know about existing solutions and implement them in more places. Are you ready to help the hashtag move the date? Yes. Yes, I am. And this is when it goes into all the types of solutions that you can go into and such. So you can look at parts of the world and get started on where we can fix these sort of things, which I find just awesome. Like this is great that you can even look at this kind of stuff, like simple solutions that can take you far and wide with how we take care of this earth. So I really hope that people do feel inspired by this. I hope you do try like the ecological footprint quiz. I mean, even if it's terrible, there's always room to improve. And I find that especially now, especially with the pandemic, with a lot of plastic use going up with all the PPE that we're using, it can be tricky for people to accept the fact that, the earth still needs some focus. I mean, yes, COVID is still happening, and yes, we're working on it, but the earth's still around. We want to keep it around much longer than COVID. So, it's time to take some action. So if you guys want to, I would highly recommend it, like I've said a million times. But if you just look along the link below here, you will see it all typed out, and you can easily take the quiz yourself. I'd love to hear the results. I'd love to hear what you guys have in your Earth ecological footprint. No pressure, but I think it's time to put a little focus back on the Earth a bit. And especially since April is Earth Month, let's get this Earth fixed. Thanks, guys.